Welcome to Back to School Night. This is Mr. Holmes, part of our Geometry Honors CT, and I'm also with Mr. Tim Zanaletto, and we're going to tell you a little bit about ourselves here in the next slide. So again, my name is Jason Holmes, and this is my 6th year teaching geometry at Thoreau Middle School. Before Thoreau, I was at West Springfield High School for 4 years, teaching Algebra 2 and Algebra 1 and Personal Finance. And I've taught at the elementary, middle, and high school levels and been teaching for over 20 years. And I'm also the head baseball coach at West Springfield High School. Mr. Tim Zanaletto, this is his 2nd year teaching at Thoreau, and this is his 17th year teaching in Fairfax County Public Schools. And he was also, before Thoreau, was at West Springfield High School for 10 years. And so myself and Tim actually taught together at West Springfield High School for a few years as well. Our curriculum and pacing guide for the Geometry Honors 2021-2022 school year focuses a lot on problem solving and critical thinking skills. We are going to use logical reasoning a lot to solve problems. We're going to do a lot of practical assignments during class, some investigation activities, things of that nature, to be able to help students learn the geometry concepts and ideas that are essential for this course. What we do expect from our students is that they are able to improve their reasoning skills. They're also going to have to do proofs, direct proofs, in 2 columns, which we will work with them on throughout the year in different units. We'll also do a lot of visual activities in 2- and 3-dimensional coordinate planes, and also 3-dimensional activities as well. And they'll be using a lot of algebraic skills from Algebra 1 that they learned last year, but also skills that will prepare them for next year in Algebra 2 in high school. These are the pacing guide for by quarter for our Geometry Honors course. Communication protocols. We will be using Schoology this year, and all teachers will be using Schoology in Fairfax County. And you will find everything that a student needs will be on Schoology. The unit assignment sheet will be on Schoology. Any upcoming assignments or assessments, upcoming quizzes or tests will be listed on Schoology as well. You can find notes, slideshows, practice assignments, homework assignments, anything else that pertains to our Geometry Honors course will be on Schoology. To contact us, please use our FCPS emails listed here on this slide, and we will respond to you as quickly as possible.
Hello, this is Tim Zanaletto. I'm going to be taking over the presentation at this point. We're going to go ahead and continue from that slide about assessment and software. We have a lot of tools that we had from last year that we'll continue to use and probably utilize more than if we didn't have last year. And we have an additional tool. I'm sure you've heard about Schoology. That's sort of the base of everything. In person, we are going to be doing paper pencil, at times quizzes and tests, and even homework assignments. But we also still will leverage the ability to use Desmos, MathSpace, Edpuzzle, Kahoot, and like I say, Schoology is sort of like this one-stop shop to allow the students to see what their assignments are and have links involved with that. We also want to mention that there will at least be at least 9 grades per quarter per FCPS policy, and we will be doing a total points basis, a rolling grade book. With that in mind, you can keep an eye on your students' grades in parent view, what's going into SIS, and grades will be also emailed home several times per quarter. FCPS has a policy that students will not be asked to work on homework for longer than 25 minutes outside of class. I can promise you we will try to have that be the case, and if you find a situation in which it's just not possible for your students to get done with it within those 25 minutes, feel free to reach out to us or have your student. I think them being advocates is really important at this age. Have them go ahead and reach out to us, letting us know that they gave it a true, honest effort, but weren't able to complete it in that amount of time, and they had other responsibilities, and they'll try to catch up later. And that will be wonderful. I think that's a good to give us that kind of feedback. Retakes will be given within 2 weeks of once the assessment has been returned, and they'll be expected to go ahead and complete corrections. There's like a process to that, and we'll have a document in Schoology that will outline what those steps are. But essentially, they go ahead and correct it. We may give them a little extra practice, and then they'll go ahead and retake. Typically, that rolling grade book, I think it's good to have an idea of where points are coming from and how they're weighted. The homework and classwork, there'll be 1 or 2 per week put into the grade book, and that's 1 point per assignment. Quizzes will be 1 to 3 per unit, and any unit can be 2-3 weeks, something like that, maybe more. And that's 5 to 15 points per quiz. And then bigger picture, the unit tests are the true sort of conclusion of us having studied material, and that's 25 to 40 points per unit test. While we're in person, we'll probably do a decent amount of paper pencil. We also will have math space assignments and Google Forms or Desmos assignments that could go in. Most of those Google Forms and Desmos would be classwork. Occasionally a quiz might be a Google Form, but we'll be utilizing MathSpace quite a bit. Your students should be, if they're returning to FCPS, they should be familiar with MathSpace from Algebra 1. That's about all I have for the grading. Digital citizenship, I do want you to be sure that you realize we do take that serious. We do take, your son or daughter's safety serious, and that just their overall how they're treating others and how they're being treated by others. And this digital citizenship and in-person citizenship is really important. We want them to respect each other, have a balance, be balanced individuals, define not the digital footprint, be careful that they realize the power of the digital footprint. We will take privacy and security, whether it's virtual or it's here, seriously. And those have been many things that have been addressed through FCPS as well. But these are all things that we do take into account. But in closing, we look forward to and will strive to create a positive learning environment where students will work together to master the content within the geometry curriculum. Thank you tonight for your time and commitment to our school. And at any time, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us via email. It's probably the easiest. I mean, you can go ahead and do it old school and send a note in with your student or leave a voice message. But I think the easiest way would probably be emails, as we check those on a regular basis. Thank you and have a good night.